This year we were just too busy for the holidays. Between we had to be up in Philadelphia on the 26th, and we still had like the entire day of Christmas to celebrate, and we had to catch Nosferatu that evening.
That?
It was okay. So at first, it was like, okay, this movie that I just consumed was very pretty. I don't know how I feel about the story. It's Nosferatu on paper. After sitting with it for a while, I have grown a good appreciation for it. Yeah. I think it's a nice interpretation of both like the original novel and of the story of Nosferatu. So it's very much like the story of Dracula with Nosferatu being like the main center, and they make Lily Rose's Depp character. I can't remember the actual character's name. Lucy. Yeah, they make her the primary focus.
Lucy or Mina? It's Mina.
Mina, yeah. Mina's. They make her character the main focal, like the anchor to the story for why basically everything's kind of happening, which I think is a nice transition as opposed to like what in the original like 1922 film where it was kind of like, oh, this evil creature finds out about like this woman, and he's like, I want that.
But Max Schreck was so delightful.
I love Max Schreck. No, great. I think he's fantastic, and I appreciate that film for what it is on every level of it. But this one, they put a lot more meat and context behind the characters, and so there's a lot more like investment when things are happening, and they really spend time really showing like the power and the devastation that like Count Orlok brings when he is around, and I like that. I like that a lot.
It's got to be better than that awful Salem's Lot remake.
Was it? Did you not like it?
I hated it. What it was missing was the character development the miniseries had. You knew who all the characters were.
Yeah.
This barreled right into it with a lot of rewrite, and they missed a lot of opportunity of beautiful things they could have pulled out of the book.
Okay. You think it would have been better if it did like a 2-part movie or something? Like if it had a little more...
very, very much, and they should have stuck closer to the novel.
Okay. No, I could respect that.
And it was like, yeah, about an hour in, I was done.
I respect that.
Yeah, and it's like, without that character development, it was like it kind of fell flat.
Yeah? Okay. I can see that. I still haven't seen it yet. So it's been like, so with the surgery and everything, like my goal is to just watch movies.
Well, make your list.
I would love that. That sounds amazing. So, and
have you watched Maxine yet? The end of the X trilogy.
Yes, I have. I actually showed it to Sima because they've never seen any of them. So I was like, okay, well, Maxine comes out on Saturday. So for our date night, we're gonna watch X and Pearl, and then that Saturday we're gonna go. We went to the Tampa Theater
when they had the pre-screening.
Yes, yeah.
I wasn't able to go. That killed me. I had to wait.
And we watched it, and I think it was a great send off to the entire trilogy. Honestly, I thought it was fantastic.
It was very yellow.
It was very, very yellow,
and each one stands on its own. It's like you don't need one movie; they all work independently.
Yes, and I love that about it. And I think ranking them in my head, thinking about it a lot, I'm like, I still feel like Pearl is my personal favorite, just because.
Agreed.
Like, that last like 30, 45 minutes is just...
Well, the thing is that monologue she gave in one take. This long monologue. And then she stands there at the end crying for how long as the credits run?
It's like 3 to 5 minutes.
Yes, and it's like, that was Oscar worthy.
That was.
Mia Goth is amazing.
Yeah, she's gonna be like one of like the unofficial like horror movie queens for a very long time. Anytime I see that she's in something now, I'm like, okay, I'm in. I don't care.
Same thing when I saw The Witch with Anya Taylor-Joy. I didn't know who she was, and I saw this movie, and I came home, and it's like, oh my God, I hope this girl goes so far.
She has.
And she has, and Last Night in Soho being one of my favorites.
I still haven't seen that one. It's on my list.
Go away.
It's on my list, I swear. It's like...
Is it?
It's
an incredible film. The construct of it and nailing a time period and
I know it's who's the director? He does all the like the British crime films. God, what's that guy's name? Oh, well, it's escaping me. I like all of his films because I love Snatch and I love The Gentleman and everything like that. So I him delving into. Is it a horror movie or is it more like a thriller?
It's a combination.
Is it?
It's a horror film.
It is a horror film?
It is a horror film, but it's one of the most stylish you're ever going to see. It doesn't go for the gross out. No. It doesn't even really go for the tension. It's like, it makes you think.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. No, I know it's on Max, so I'm probably going to check it out at some point. While I'm in recovery, because there's a lot of movies that are like that where I've been like, I'm going to hold off on you.
And if you need help, don't be afraid to call if you need somebody to help you.
I will 100%. I'm working out the last little details this week because they're trying to make me drive all the way down to South Tampa for my physical therapy, and I'm like, that's
a ridiculous amount of space to travel when places are closer to here.
That's why I told them. I was like, why can't I just get something up here? And they're like, well, you need to call and like get a new referral. And I was like, you guys are absolutely insane.
Let's hear it for the medical profession.
Yeah, so I was just like, all right, whatever, fine. Did you see The Substance?
Not yet. And it just came back out to theaters, and certain someone won't go see it with me.
What?
What?
The Substance?
No.
No.
I've had body dysmorphia is why I want to watch it.
Oh, when are you trying to see it? That's really what it's going to come down to.
Oh, I know that's what it comes down to, and it may be something I can or cannot really sit through comfortably.
So I've seen it twice now, and it's going to be one of the few movies that I actually buy because I'm building a new DVD collection, but I only want films that like I would rewatch any point in time. I don't want
fair.
I don't want it to really be like, oh, this, that. I don't want to be just collecting films.
I will say we have movies in the collection that we rarely touch.
Yes.
It's like we have Mystic River sitting in there, which you would not watch over and over.
Right.
I have a copy of a Serbian film, which you definitely don't watch over and over. And then we have the things that we just absolutely love that at any point you can pop it in and it's like, great.
For me, The Substance is definitely one of those, like, I could pop it in and watch it at any time.
Yes, and I know it's dark comedy on top of it, so it might make it palatable to me.
It is. Oh, it's so good. Demi Moore puts on such a great performance.
And she's won her first award.
Which is wild. I was like...
After all these years.
That's what she gets it for that? Mm-hmm. I mean, if she was going to get it for anything, I guess that makes sense, because this one's... When that movie came out, it kind of like... like snuck in, and then it just made like the biggest roar, and like all of the communities, like I kept hearing people talk about it and
I can't wait for the Oscar noms. Wednesday.
Are they dropping Wednesday?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I also recommend The Conclave if you haven't seen it.
Have not.
That was brilliant filmmaking, and if Isabella doesn't get an Oscar nomination, I'm going to shoot somebody. She's not in the movie very much, but she definitely leaves an impression.
I think that's all you really need. I mean, what Anthony Hopkins was only in Silence of the Lambs for like
14 minutes.
Yeah, like, and he made like one of the most iconic.
Let me tell you the story about the first time I saw The Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh, okay.
I was young and stoned out of my mind.
Okay.
And that scene comes up, and he's talking, and I got up and left the room because I swear to God, I felt like he was staring out at the TV talking right at me. It's like, I don't think, no, I wasn't stoned. I was drunk.
Yeah.
We've been drinking. It was like,
nope.
I had to go back and watch it later when I was level-headed. It was brilliant, though.
It was. It's a great movie. I like that one. So, yeah, so I'm trying to make a collection more like based off like films like that. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I also have like my little like random films here and there. Like I got like Near Dark in there.
That is my favorite vampire movie of all time.
Getting a copy of it, I had to drop $60 for it.
I believe you.
Yeah, it was insane. I was like, why is this so expensive? But then I realized
it's rare.
Yeah, it's not on any streaming services. It's hard to find.
It just was.
It just was. Which is,
and I didn't get to share it with Scott. Oh. It's like, yes, brutal. It's brutal.
You are more than welcome to borrow my copy if you would like to.
I won't hit him with it right now because it is an intense movie. Catherine Bigelow is so damn good.
So I fucking love that. And then like I need to get a new copy of like Harold and Maude. That's like I love that movie. I don't know why. I think it's like a perfect, like such an interesting dark rom-com. Like,
well, it's just like I love a good bad movie.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is Mega Python versus Gatoroid
I'm
with
sorry.
Tiffany and Debbie Gibson.
What is that title?
It is so delightfully awful. It is wrong in all the right ways, and they knew what they were doing because their director was Mary Lambert, who did Pet Sematary.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
And the highlight of the movie is a cat fight between the two of them. And they kill Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees in the movie.
He was in the movie with them?
Yes, he's in the movie too.
All right.
But what was really funny is they're in the Everglades,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes to get these hormones to make the alligators grow to kill off the snakes, Tiffany. They show a shot at Tampa General Hospital. Because we all know it's right off the Everglades. It's a stock shot at Tampa General Hospital.
Yeah, it's right next to it. That's, I mean, like Tampa is in the Everglades, doesn't?
Yeah, it's only 4.5 hours.
Most, I guess, if you're not from Florida, like you
wouldn't know better.
Yeah, everything is just kind of a swamp.
It was the same thing with Ringmaster. There's one line in the movie where the characters live in Lakeland, but Lakeland or Miami, I don't remember which, but the guy had a good job at Walmart in the opposite place. And it's like, that's a long way to drive to work every day.
That's a long ass, yeah. What are you doing? Get up. It kind of reminds me. So I went to like a cigar bar not too long ago.
Oh, those are wonderful.
They are. And we ended up having a nice conversation with some of the locals, and we got on Goodfellas for some strange reason. And they were talking about Goodfellas with us, and they're like, you know that scene where they come down here and they feed the guy to like the gators and stuff? They're like, yeah, that wasn't at the zoo. And I was like, what do you mean it wasn't at the zoo? They're like, yeah, it wasn't at Lowry Park. Everybody thinks it is. It's not there.
That's just an illusion.
Yeah, they're like, it's actually, they used to do that, but they used to do it at Busch Gardens, is what they were telling me. And I was like,
well, years ago, they had a huge old crocodile. And I mean, this thing was old. It didn't move, but it was the biggest animal I've ever seen. It finally just passed away quietly, but it was on display for years.
Was it really? I wonder if I got to see it. I don't know when it passed away. So, but I was like, oh, okay. That actually makes a lot more sense for some reason. I could believe it being at Busch Gardens a lot more than I could be at Lowry Park Zoo. But I don't know. Lowry Park Zoo is pretty like.
Well, once upon a time, it didn't look like it does now.
Really?
It was free to go in.
Oh, okay.
And they had a small amusement park.
Oh.
And an old warplane that you could climb in that was sitting out there that had been gutted. And all the animals were in these horrible concrete enclosures. And they looked so sad. And you would board this tiny little rickety train ride, and they would drive you through to look at the animals.
That sounds good.
And it was like, and the animals always looked so sad. And it's like, so I'm glad they were able to revamp it. Yes. They also had an area called Fairyland that had all the fairy tales, which a group of us Rocky Horror kids got in trouble.
Oh, really?
Yes. We went down there and we were climbing on things. And security caught me climbing old Mother Hubbard shoe by the lace. They called the police on us, and we decided we could be thrown out of anywhere at that point. That would have been in late 80s, early 90s.
Was that like...
That happened.
Well, that would have been like right when you started... When did you join that cast?
Early 1980s.
1980s.
Early 1980s. I was a very young teenager when I joined.
Okay. All right.
It's like, I believe I was 13 going on 14 about the time I got there. And how I got to Rocky Horror was through school. I got a job. They put me at McDonald's. So I was able to work part of my school day versus being in classes for credit. And a group of my coworkers took me. And I was absolutely flabbergasted by what I saw because I didn't know what to make of it. It's like, I had barely been out of the house, and the dirtiest thing I saw was probably something on Showtime late at night that was a bad sex comedy.
Okay.
That's when they were still putting the antennas on the houses because you didn't have cable in the neighborhood, and you could get Showtime via an antenna.
That I did not know.
Yes. Oh. And it looked like a radar dish with a piece sticking out the middle.
Okay. That's awesome.
But it was the most unusual thing I had ever seen.
Yeah.
And being me, I lost my friends and gravitated to the front where the live show had gone on.
Uh-huh.
And after conversation, boom, I was in the show.
Nice.
2 of the OGs welcomed me. It was Marguerite and Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky's still around.
Yes,
and actually, Marguerite's still around. I shouldn't say that. They're both still around.
Oh, that's awesome.
Not as involved with the show, but Ricky's there every year at Tampa Theater and Comic-Con, and Marguerite pops in and out. But they welcome me with open arms. And at the time, I was trying to figure myself out.
Mm-hmm.
Because once upon a time, viewers, I was a gay boy. And at the time, it was like, you didn't say things like that. It was not safe. They had to send me to judo school to learn to fight. And I can fight.
That's awesome.
I don't want to fight. I can fight. Except when 3 guys jump you with a piece of glass. We're not going there again today.
No,
We're not.
No.
But it was a place where I was embraced and welcomed in and allowed to get comfortable in my skin, explore who I was. Because growing up, I was what you would call a very gender confused child. Back in the day, and I know a lot of people hit me in the head for this one, but if there had been hormone therapy, I would have been on it.
Yeah.
I tell you that flat out. I would have been on it as a child.
Okay.
But it allowed me to grow comfortable in my skin. It was inclusive. Nobody cared. I was just me. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
My first character was Dr. Scott.
Oh, your first character was Dr. Scott? I didn't know that.
I did Dr. Scott for a while.
Nice.
And what I missed as time went on was the theater where I was University Cinema.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this beautiful aisle that...
Oh, they like ramp down?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
We would start the wheelchair at the top.
No.
And you could time it perfectly to come down so Frank could put his foot on you.
That's fucking dope.
I fucking missed that. You didn't need anybody to push you or anything else. You just came flying down that aisle between the audience. It was awesome.
That's legit. What? Oh, I would kill for that.
And then the next character I gravitated to was Magenta.
Really?
Yes, she remains my favorite character in the show.
Well, what about Magenta that makes you like gravitate to her?
Well, Pat Quinn is gorgeous.
Yes.
Pat Quinn is gorgeous. She has never looked better than she looks in that movie. But the character is really kind of a nasty, conniving, powerful bitch. If you pay attention, she instigates so much that happens through the movie. Pay attention to it. She instigates a lot of it. She can manipulate her brother beautifully.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Think about it. With the mop, she's standing there, and she gestures at Rocky laying there.
So she instigates him to like...
She kind of prods him, I believe, into killing them, and then utters a line, "But I thought you liked them. They liked you." She's spying through monitors all over the castle. She knows what's going on. But I think what a lot of people miss is when Brad and Janet show up, they think they're drug dealers. You haven't caught that, have you?
No, I haven't.
Frank, during Sweet Transvestite, very clearly says to them, he thought you were the candy man. And if you listen to Rip's verse, and there's a light, the darkness must flow down the river, and I flow Morpheus slow. They believe they're the drug dealers when they show up.
Oh, and because they're like aliens, they don't know any fucking better. They're
No.
like, you're just...
They believe that they brought the drugs that they wanted. And Frank confirms that. He thought you were the candy man. And if you watch when he says that, he squints his nose, so I guess they wanted Coke.
I guess he riff being like in Coke. That seems like the most appropriate joke. For that type of house environment, yeah.
But of course, I started going when you kept count of how many times you were there. That was a thing. And it was so far back that it was taboo.
Yes.
People would literally look at you and go, "Tonight, we're going to Rocky Horror." You didn't say it out loud. And as time went on, I lost my virginity to a cast member. Actually, I gave it away. I didn't lose it. I threw it out. And we've had conversations about him. Nobody knows where he is.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I've tried to hunt him down just to say, hey. But when he had been in high school, they started a club called G-Force, which stood for gay. It was the gay kids.
Ah.
Well, that didn't go over real well.
Oh, no.
I went to the same high school, and I was one of the Rocky Horror kids. They always had this eye on me. I was not popular with the administration.
Oh, well, that sounds like a personal problem, in my opinion.
Well, it was. Here I am. I don't know where any of them are, but here I am.
And I think that's beautiful.
But yeah, they really frowned upon it because of Marty, where the hell are you?
It's because of the nature of the film, especially at the time that it came out with everything going on.
Well, even the studio didn't know what to make of it.
Really?
Yeah, if you go back and listen, it's like they weren't even sure how to market this as a film. So they cashed in on Jaws with a different set of Jaws. It was like, let's try that. And when it came out, it was a total flop because nobody knew what to make of it.
Hmm.
So I remember when it was playing in theaters just as a movie, I saw the word horror and I wanted to go see it. And my grandma was like, no. I'm pretty thankful she didn't take me to see it, considering. At least while I was at the age when it came out in 1975.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
And don't get me wrong, she was not a prude. She consumed True Blood, Showgirls, and Caligula. I actually took her my copy of Caligula to watch.
Nice.
And when it was over, I asked her, so did you like the movie? She went, no, not in particular. I was like, was the sex a bit much? And she goes, no. I don't like movies about Rome. Why the hell did you bring that? That was my grandma in a nutshell.
Unbothered by anything.
I miss her so much. She thought Showgirls was the greatest thing since Toast. And she binge watched, the last year she was live within a 3-month period, binge watched True Blood. She binged it. She could never remember the name of it, so she'd just tell me she wanted to watch Sookie. And I now want somebody to take the box and redesign it to say Sookie. I want Sookie in one spot on the box because I have the box set.
What a strange time to be alive. I remember when that show was taking off and like you couldn't get away from it no matter what you did.
We used to have a group of people we were around on Sunday nights and everybody, ooh, we got to get home and watch True Blood. And it's like, I would think, who the fuck wants to watch a goddamn show about vampires? I'm going to go home and watch Desperate Housewives, bitches. So we didn't see it until much later. And I streamed an episode and then we streamed a second episode. It's like, this is really good. And I went and just bought the damn box set without knowing. And it's still sitting in our home to this day.
I love it. No, I fell into it a little bit. Towards like the tail end of the show, I like finally found all the hype over it finally broke me down, and I was like, all right, let me give it a shot. So I watched like the first couple of seasons, and I was like, okay, cool, I can understand this. I feel like I suffer from this every time HBO series has like come out because I never want to get into them until like I feel like getting into them. So by this point, the show had been going on for about 4 or 5 years at this point.
That's a good starting point.
Yeah, so like I got into it, and then we're at the point where like Sookie was like a fairy.
Oh, you were way into it.
Yeah, that's why I got all the way to there. And then at this point, I was like, you know, I remember the exact scene, actually. It was like, so it was like, I guess Bill's like creator. You good? Yeah. I guess like Bill's creator.
Oh, that bitch.
She came back, right? And then at one point, like, he wasn't with Sookie anymore. He was in distress. And she was like, make love to me. Not Sookie, but like the creator. He was like, no. But then he started having sex with her anyway. And then at one point, while they were having sex, he took her head.
Yes, they had that huge fight.
Yeah, he just rotated it 180 degrees and kept going. And I was like, you know, I think the show may have lost the point. I could be wrong.
Well, they're already dead. That's not going to kill her.
No, I knew that. It was just like seeing it. My brain was just like, what am I watching? Like, the other like absurdity of it all.
The only season I didn't totally love is the one where he was kidnapped because the whole story took place in a week.
What? There was a season of that?
Yeah, he gets kidnapped at the end of one season, and then he's with the Vampire King or whoever he is. And it's like that whole story took place in a week.
What?
Yeah, That one season was just a week long.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Who the hell decided that?
That's the only season I didn't care for. I thought that one was weak.
Is that the one where they were trying to find him and everything?
Yes.
Ah, I do remember that.
Yeah, and that all happens in like a 7-day period.
That's wild.
But
Really
overall, God, I love the show.
Yeah, I think overall, it stuck the landing.
And if I were any character, I'd be Pam. I would. I have that kind of sarcasm about me.
That'd be great. I think you'd be awesome, Pam. It's never too late.
I don't want to live that long.
I don't think I want that either.
And if you spot her, she's in Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Is she really?
Yes. She's one of the clique. But nobody knew who the hell she was then.
That's fair. That's very fair. It's true. The only reason I recognize what's her last name? Alquin Pack? Is that her name? No.
Anna Paquin.
Anna Paquin is because of X-Men.
I have been watching her since she was in the piano.
She was in the piano?
Yes, she was up at the Oscars for the piano. She's just a little girl. She carried the whole movie.
Holy shit.
Because Holly Hunter plays a mute. So she had to do all the talking.
I didn't even put to.
And then she did Fly Away Home a little bit later, and I watched that. And that's just a really sweet family film.
Never seen it, so
it's a sweet family film.
Ducks, right?
Yes. Yes. It's a sweet movie, and it's like I enjoy the movie. And my favorite of her characters, though, in a movie or anything else, was the werewolf in Trick or Treat.
Oh yeah, me too.
The shot where her head snaps back, and the blacks around the eyes, and the contacts are in. It's like, girl, you have never looked better.
That's a fucking. I love that scene. I feel like that's like that scene is the entire.
To me, that's the whole movie.
Yeah, that's the movie.
That sequence.
Yeah, that sums up the whole movie. You got fucking women straddling a serial killer while,
and he doesn't even know what he's gotten into.
Yeah, while surrounded by a bunch of women.
Irony. It's irony.
Yes.
Somebody came up with there should be a movie about aliens that kidnap this family and don't realize they're cannibals.
That would be dope. That'd be really dope.
And that now they have serial killers on the ship with them and they don't know it.
It'd be the hunters become the hunted.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty. Who'd you root for at that point? I guess I would root for the.
I would have to meet the characters before I decided who I was going to root for. Because a lot of times I root for the villain.
That's fair. That's very fair. I think I feel like I'd be more sympathetic towards the aliens because we don't know what their intentions would be. Maybe they're just like trying to study us. So.
Depends if they're giving you that Twilight Zone cookbook or not.
That's very true. That's very true. There's a lot of people I found out who have never seen the Twilight Zone.
Only the episodes I've shown them.
I used to binge watch it for the 4th of July and everything.
Everybody did. It was on all day.
Yeah,
all you had to do was flip on the TV.
Well, I mean, I feel like most people would go out and have a barbecue and do all that stuff. My family didn't have money for any of that, so we just stayed at the house and just watched.
We might go watch fireworks in the evening somewhere, but aside from that, we're home.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad. Okay. Well, that makes me feel a little bit happier because that's definitely every childhood of I'll just watch Twilight Zone and just remember watching all those episodes and.
When I was little, it used to come in on Friday night and reruns at 11 o'clock at night. The only time they showed it. And at a really young age, I had to fight to stay up to watch it. Because it was 11 o'clock at night.
Would it come on a weekday or is it?
No, it would come on Friday night. It was it was on for half an hour a week. And it was just reruns to fill time on the station.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was one of the independent stations. It wasn't even a major network. That's when TV still signed up at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay. That makes more
back,
sense.
yeah.
All right. I was like, okay, well, I mean.
Yes, it's when we had 3 major networks, 2 independents, a religious channel, and 2 PBS channels. And that was it.
That's it.
And you had to get up and turn the dial.
I had a dial TV, actually. It was great.
We had a black and white TV for the first few years of my life. We didn't get a color TV until I was 10 years old.
I did not get a chance to get one of those, but my grandmother did have one of the little quick ones.
And the one we had in the living room was that big. Now you get these TVs, they take up the wall.
The whole wall.
And I love it.
And 8K,
it.
it's the definition's insane.
One of these days I want a TV I can just climb into and watch the movie.
Well, things are getting pretty cool with VR. So maybe that's not too far off away, actually.
They should shoot a virtual reality film.
So have you seen Hardcore Henry?
No.
Hardcore Henry's almost that. Like, I think if you watch that movie in a VR set, I think you would get that type of sense because it's filmed like a first-person shooter. Like, it's all in first person from like start to finish. It's all like first person, and you watch this guy like escape, have like these crazy intense boss battles, like go through all these kills and everything like that, and you're all doing it from a first person. I imagine if like you could watch movies in a VR headset, that would be the movie to watch. I feel like it was made by the same guy who did
of course the joke is
District 9.
There's so many guys out there, they're gonna want porn in VR.
Oh, it's already happening.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not in Florida because we got like all these like weird laws right now. But like,
yes, and I'm sure a lot of people were upset that they couldn't go to Pornhub suddenly.
Nope, not without signing in. Like, hey, that's what you guys voted for, right?
Yeah, go to X Hamster Bucket. You know what's funny is I have nothing against porn, but it does nothing for me. I'm very jaded because I worked in adult entertainment for so many years. That it's just like I'm kind of jaded towards it.
No, I guess I can understand that. Is it because like the illusion's gone for you?
There is no illusion. I realize exactly what these people are doing and what kind of work, what kind of day they're having.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is work.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It is work, and yeah, that looks so sexy. And it's like, no, it doesn't. There are 9 people in that room, one holding sound, one moving lights, a director kind of directing, camera people.
Yeah, when you put it like that, that is... Yeah.
It is an actual movie set.
Yeah.
It is a functioning movie set.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you just got to trust that when it comes to the goods, that the 2 actors can work well together.
Huh.
You don't get a lot of direction on that. But what's funny is on occasion, you'll see those movies, you'll see flash bulbs because they're taking photos at the same time. And you can see the flash bulbs going off.
Because they're using like...
They're using them for promotional pictures and whatnot. But it's like, really? You're going to put that in the movie, the flash bulb? Really?
Yes. I imagine editing is not like the biggest thing that they're worried about, keeping the continuity. Like, whatever, it's a flash bulb.
They don't care about
it. So I had a Uber once of a lady, sweetest lady I could ever possibly meet. And she was telling me about how her and her siblings, her friends, would go down to the Todd and watch.
Yes, they used to have a movie theater.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we went down there one time and we weren't old enough to go in, but we managed to get in. And we went to see Sexcalibur in 3D. And it was paired up with a movie called Bodacious Tatas. The only other time we went down there was when, what was it, New Wave Hookers was playing. Because they had busted that Tracy Lords was underage when she made the movie. Well, the sequence was gone. They had taken it to fix the prints already. But that's why we went. He's like, oh my God, a 15-year-old chick was in this fucking movie.
Holy shit.
Yes, they got busted for it.
What the fuck? How did that happen?
So good luck if you can find a copy of that.
That's probably worth a lot of fucking... probably you don't want to have a copy of that.
Well, she's like 112 now. I'm exaggerating. I'm older than she is.
Are you really? Yeah.
If she was 15 when she made that movie and I was slightly under 18, yeah, she's younger than I am.
Oh, that's crazy to think about. Yeah, I'm not like significantly up there, but I'm now starting to feel my age in a way because like I worked with a lot of younger people who are coming in, and like I'd be like, "What year were you born?" Like 2005, and I'm like,
well, bizarrely enough, and this sounds kind of morbid, but the older you get, the more you think about dying. You actually do entertain the idea, and it's like, and that's where relationships are so unfair because one of you, unless somehow you die together, one of you is going to check out and leave the other.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, I think about that, and it's like, oh. But I'm not ready yet. I got shit to do.
No, you do.
I'm not ready yet.
You have a beautiful life to still.
But
still more
only the good die young. I might be 112 before I go.
I would love that. I would. As long as you're still functioning.
You picture me doing Rocky Horror with a walker coming out there yelling at people?
Yes, I can. It'd be wonderful. No, actually.
Do not bump into me, my hip. I'm going to show you how to do this one more time, then I'm going to kill you. My hip's going to be out. Bring me my Ensure. I actually drink those now.
Oh, the Ensures?
Mm-hmm.
I do too. I actually make protein shakes with them.
I have one every morning before I go out the door to my day job.
Yep. I take that and then I'll put like bananas and like blueberries in mine, and then I'll blend it all up and then I'll like put it in a cup and like dip with that. And it's better than coffee sometimes, honestly. Like it just gets me.
No, it's not. Oh, shut up. Don't laugh at me. And even better, a cafe con leche sometimes.
If I can have a cafe leche that's with maybe like oat milk, that's it. Because like I can't.
Oh no, you use evaporated canned milk because it's powerful. It makes it so rich.
I can't risk it. Like I'm cursed.
Okay, looking at your body and mine, I'm gonna give you that one.
No, I'm lactose. It's not.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Especially since you come to my house and I feed you I don't want to feed you something that's gonna hit you the wrong way.
No, so like cheese, my body's pretty good about. Like we just had pizza today, and like no problems. I can do chocolate too, like because I just had like me and someone just had like cookies. So, but if it's like ice cream, actual ice cream, or if it's like milk, no, it will immediately send me to the bathroom. A milkshake is death. That's all that is for me. There's no nothing. Yeah.
I have a story that I'll share. This is a very private one. I don't tell this one often either.
Okay. Yeah.
And this ties right into Rocky Horror.
Oh yeah, let's go back to that. I'm sorry.
I transferred into public school out of private school, and I didn't realize what a safe, sheltered world I had there. I found my first real bully.
Oh no.
I was a queer, I was a fag, I was a cocksucker, you name it, that's what I was. Any slanderous name you can think of, that's what I was.
Jesus.
But then we went through a period where he started to defend me, and I thought, oh, we're past it. And he had me convinced to go spend a night at his house. After school, he and two of his friends jumped me and made me do things that I probably would have done without being beaten down to do. It's like, dude, you do realize what you're actually doing here is what you're always picking on me for. And at this point, I wasn't out. You didn't come out then. And it was like, he literally drove me to a point where I wanted to swallow a bottle of pills, cut my wrist, something. It was like I could not take it. I was terrorized even, and I'm glad we had no internet then, thank God. Thank goodness we had no internet because he probably would have terrorized me at home. I found Rocky Horror, a group of people that embraced me being just who I was. I felt protected, safe, and that movie saved my life. And you're going to hear a lot of people say Rocky Horror saved my life because it is so inclusive. Yeah. It really is. Everybody's welcome. Doesn't matter what your background is. It's like, you're welcome here. Once upon a time, and you said you spoke with Christy?
Yes.
Did she mention that we lovingly referred to Rocky Horror as the Island of Misfit Toys?
I want to say it came up in a conversation.
It's like everybody that came in that was damaged in some way, shape, or form, something was very wrong in your life, and you found the support system you couldn't find anywhere else. And the fact that these people are still in my life, almost 40 years later.
That's beautiful.
It's 13, I'm going on 58, They've been with me a long time.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
And we were actually just at Christy's house for Ricky's birthday.
Oh, good.
OGs.
Did you ever find a time where you kind of had to step away from Rocky, or have you?
I did. When I was 28, I stepped away.
Oh my goodness.
And I actually managed to stay away for 20 years.
What?
Yes. And then I ran into Buddy. At the picture show. I ran into him at the picture show. And we were sitting there talking, and they were doing an event at the Ritz. And he asked me, would you come out? I want you to come as my guest, please. And Marguerite came with me. And we're sitting there, and before the show starts, suddenly we hear, we have 2 members of the original Rocky Horror Tampa cast with us tonight. So we're standing up now doing the Queen Wave. And it was eventually like, we better sit down. These people are going to clap all night. 45 seconds was enough. So we plopped down. Are you losing video there, friend? You got that one going. I want to make sure you're not losing video while I'm running off at the mouth here.
We got the audio, we got the video.
And then he asked me, would you do me a favor and come help judge auditions for the cast? We're holding auditions. Mm-hmm. So I came and sat through the auditions and made my notes and helped him with that. And then he... would you do me a favor and come in and just be kind of a mentor if people need it for a few weeks? Here I am.
Still back in it?
Yes, I believe I was 48 when I rejoined, so I've been back in it for about 10 years now.
Nice.
Yeah. And I looked at him, and it's like, you motherfucker, you reeled me back in like a fish. And he goes, I know. He knows there's not anything I wouldn't do for him. He knew that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of people. Did you miss it while you were gone?
Oh, a lot. I love the whole environment. I love entertaining people. Mm-hmm. I love performing. And years ago, not so much now.
Yeah.
But years ago when we did it, you would be out in public as a group because you traveled in packs. People would walk right up and go, you do Rocky Horror. And they would get very excited. It's like, we're not famous. But they really thought that way.
Yeah.
So on occasion, I would be like, no, what's that? And then they would tell me, I would follow with, is it scary? And lots of talk and go, is it the same thing every week? Because there were people that would creep me out on occasion that showed up. And it's like, no, we're not celebrities. But at the time, that was like, it was such a taboo thing to do. I guess it was like finding the queens from El Goya out in public. It was just like something taboo to do. But if you see them, oh my God, how exciting. It's not that way so much now because in the age of internet and this and that, things are so different.
Yeah, but I think there's still like, I don't know, even like when I was doing it back in like 2008 to like 2013, mm-hmm. like it was a lot of like, there's still appreciation for like the local cast.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
There is. And it's like, I've become friends with a few people in an audience. Mm-hmm. Not too many. I don't let audiences too close to me.
Yeah.
Because then it's just like your friends wanting to hang out, and it's like, no, they're in an audience, you're doing a show. It's like, there's a reason you're here. It's like work, mm-hmm. even though it's done freely. Well, it is. It always has been.
No,
it's something you do freely because you want to do it. Yeah. And back in the day, we were very possessive over it. It's not easy to get in.
Was it?
I don't know how the hell I got in so easy, but it was not easy to get in. And people protected those parts with their lives.
I guess that makes sense. It's something that's...
It was something to do. It was a taboo. It was one theater, 2 shows a week, and we sold those theaters out.
Jesus. Nice.
Twice a week.
Fuck yeah.
And it was like, because it wasn't on video. It wasn't on TV. You got lucky if once a year a channel might play the Time Warp. Well, that's deathly serious. It's like you might get it on a particular, like one of those shows that would show the really bad B movies late at night, the horror shows. They might around Halloween show the Time Warp, and that's the only portion of the movie.
That's the only portion?
That was the only portion of the movie that would show.
What the hell?
And then we one time got this beautiful Japanese videotape that was so blurry that it looked like the scrambled porn that used to be up there, but it was Rocky Horror, so we didn't care, and we would sit there and have parties and watch this squiggly video. So once upon a time, the only way to learn it was in that hour and 40 minutes in the theater while it was playing. Yeah. You couldn't go home and watch it. Mm-hmm. You couldn't look it up online. Mm-hmm. And it was like, yeah, you had an hour and 40 minutes a week to learn your part, and you had to watch screen to do it.
How long did do you think it took you before you like, yeah, I nailed this part?
Dr. Scott was not a super complicated part.
Yeah.
And because of his placement, it's very easy to watch the screen. The hardest Dr. Scott thing to do was the floor show. Because you had the time going behind them. You had to park it. You had to come center stage, make that rotation, and then go off the stage. That was the hardest thing to do. That really was. That was the hardest thing to do. Magenta, Frank, Riff, that was a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah.
As you were learning it.
Did you ever get to play Frank?
I did.
Yeah. How was that?
It is amazing. He was the star of the show. And me being me, I broke tradition. I didn't go with the costume. I had this beautiful rainbow lingerie I wore. It was every color.
I love it.
It was fabulous. And I had a great time for the time I did it. It was amazing. And back in the day, you would play really awful tricks on one another because everybody wasn't couples like they are now. And you know this. Everybody's older now that does it versus we were kids.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was the same thing when like I was originally doing with the CLP. It was like there was like nobody really in a relationship. It was just a bunch of
we used to intersleep together so much. It was like everybody, we once made a family tree of who slept with whom, started connecting the dots. It's like we're all a bunch of fucking whores. I can connect almost every person going around the list. But one of the meanest things I did to somebody, it was a Brad. And I told people, make his robe disappear. And it was a bedroom scene. So we really used to kiss down one another. You see the lipstick trail.
Nice.
And it's like now it's kind of,
yeah.
No, we actually did it.
Right.
Yeah, I got to his crotch. And I went and put my mouth on. Well, in an attempt to stop me, he slammed his fucking thighs together, therefore locking my face here. So I just started, I could feel things going on. And then the scene got over and the light didn't go off, much to his chagrin. Somehow that motherfucker got off that table, which I had pushed up against stage. Couldn't go in it. He managed to get off. Nobody saw it. So that was a failed trick. One night when I was doing Frank, my bestie of 30 plus years was doing Magenta. And it was the scene where he trips on the steps and falls right before he's killed. But in that theater, it was ground level. Nobody beyond the second row could see you. So while they're standing there, I grabbed my undies and snatched them to the side and looked at her and went and put them back. She didn't break character. She almost did. It was hard to break her, and I was determined to break her character. And one side of her mouth, she went and locked back into the character. And at the end of the show, she walks out. I was like, fuck you, I didn't laugh. And it's like that's something you kind of learn about Rocky Horror people. You're kind of not self-conscious. And something I've learned is the boys are more self-conscious than the girls.
Yeah.
Which I find really funny.
It makes sense, guys. So usually, I don't. So a lot of that guys.
I am not self-conscious, so it's like it doesn't matter who I'm around. I don't care.
I think there's like some sense of like wanting to preserve like your sense of masculinity or like your ego or something like that. I don't know. Like a lot of that kind of got like.
I'm that weird person that thinks all people are beautiful, however they are.
I do.
It's like you don't have to have this body that society tells you is the perfect body. You don't.
Yeah, I feel like guys sometimes that's like.
I think guys are worried about people judging their dick size.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
I personally, if somebody's with me, I don't care if it works, it works.
Yeah, it's a thing. It exists. Yeah. I don't know.
There was one night I made a couple of the boys very uncomfortable, and I did it on purpose because they were hanging around trying to see boobies. And I looked at them and I went, "Can I help you?" Because I was back there with the ladies. And they're like, "Oh, no, nothing." It's like, well, the ladies are trying to change now, so. And they're like, "You're in there." And it's like, "Yes, I'm one of the girls, bitches." Well, I waited till they went to change and I followed in the room. I just stood there in the corner. And they're like, Oh, what's the matter? Oh, do you need something? Mm-mm. I'm just talking. And it's like, it's not nice, is it? And it's like, that's exactly what you were doing. Don't do it again.
Did they learn their lesson?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was like back in the day, at university, we used to dress in a hallway. It was a fire exit behind the screen. Everybody was naked together back there. Nobody cared. All you had time to do was change your costume, get back out there. You didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So
it kind of gets like, the sense of like preserving
and
your
then
image.
we got a beautiful theater on Hillsborough where we had a closet with a door that all our stuff was in and you could go into. And I will say not all of us were good because we had a door we could close and people couldn't see in there. And it was funny because with Buddy, before he ever pulled me back in, he was a little boy when I met him.
Yes.
And then I lost track of him for a few years and he came to Rocky Horror as a teenager then. And came on to cast with his Rock Monsters.
Yes.
And then he went off to whatever he was doing. I eventually left the show. It was time. And I actually moved away for many years. I was gone for 13 years. So that made that 20 years a little easier.
Okay.
And then when I came back, I ran into him and, pulled me right back in.
In that time that you were gone, did you, ever get the urge to, do it again, or were you just so preoccupied with everything else that you had going?
Oh my God, no! We lived on the buckle of the frickin' Bible Belt. You're laughing too, and it's like every gay trans pan person better be kissing our fucking asses because we didn't hide who we were.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And it was like that town was run by churches and doctors.
Holy shit.
The only way Rocky Horror was going to happen there is if you eradicated the town.
Let's just say I learned a lot when we moved here.
Yeah, you did.
I did not know before that.
Well, that's okay. You also didn't believe a lot of what I told you.
Yeah.
Thought I was lying to make myself more interesting. And then other people brought it up. And he looked at me like, you really did that? Why would I make that up? To sound more interesting?
I'm sorry, I lived a sheltered life.
On the buckle of the Bible Belt.
You guys are adorable.
You and Sam are adorable too. You're like little school kids holding hands. I love it. It's so cute. It is. It is so cute. I don't know about these two. I don't know about that.
It makes them genuinely happy, and I love making them happy, so it wouldn't bother me to hold hands.
It's very funny because we playfully bicker back and forth. It's like, I hope nobody ever believes anything we say at one another.
I know there's a lot of love between you two.
And it's like, I had my whole single life planned, and we've been together for 21 years now.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Don't apologize. Why would you apologize? What the And it took the whole time we lived here to almost get him to Rocky Horror.
Oh, he
didn't want to go.
What?
And the first night I took him to the picture show, because I had been involved doing it for a little while at this point. And we're sitting there and the show is going and everybody's doing the audience participation. And he leans over and goes, is everyone going to shut up so I can hear the fucking movie? And I looked at him and was like, you really don't get it. He goes, no, and it's annoying. Eventually, one day we were sitting home at TV and it was like watching it. And all of a sudden, he did a callback line and I was like, it's like too late. You're doing it now. You're doing it.
You've been indoctrinated.
Well, he would go to the Tampa theater shows. He wouldn't audition for them. Mm-hmm. And then one year he made the mistake of saying out loud, I'm thinking about auditioning this year. And he got voluntold he was going to be in the show. And he was Transylvanian that year, which he didn't love that. Did not love that because he's got back issues and had to be in heels the whole night. And But what was funny is we got to Tampa Theater for the dress rehearsal for that particular show. And he hit the stage and froze during dress rehearsal. He saw the size of the theater. And his mind went... Well, he did that show, and then the next year, we rolled on to the next year, he's like, I want a bigger part. I'm going to audition for Rip Rap. Okay. And it was funny. He's like, I want to audition for it, but I don't actually want to get it. Okay. Well, when his audition came up, I looked at Mary Beth and Heather Ann, and it's like, I'm not voting on Rip Rap this year. That's up to the two of you. I didn't feel it was fair to have input on it. And he got it. And Mary Beth made the call.
Nice.
We called him. And when we hung up, I went, he's sitting there right now. And he's going, oh, shit, I got it. And it's like, I had nothing to do with it. And I actually told everybody that this year when we were meeting Green. Like, there's no nepotism here. He didn't get the fucking part he wanted to do. It's with Dr. Scott this year.
Yes, it was.
And here's the funny part. I had to encourage him to audition for it.
Oh.
And he's like, no, I just want to just like, don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
The only part he didn't study, he nailed the audition for. Nailed it. Nailed it. And it's the part he didn't want.
Isn't that how?
And I don't know what magic he worked, but he had a whole audience applauding for Dr. Scott, which never frickin' happens.
It's awesome, Dr. Scott.
And when you have Ricky and Marguerite telling you how well you did, and it's like, you just pigeonholed yourself.
Yeah, that was the first thing Marguerite said. She goes, I am sorry, but that is the best Dr. Scott I have ever seen anyone do. And I'm like, oh, crap.
But the thing is, and it was funny because, but the year he did the Transylvanian, he kind of got it.
Mm-hmm.
When he did Rip, he's like, oh my God, I understand what you fucking mean. Why you love this so much, I know now. One of us.
One of us.
One of us.
Welcome.
You're there forever now. You're never going to get away from it. It doesn't happen. You can leave, but you'll come back.
You always do. That's what it always seems.
Mm-hmm.
I was only gone for
20 years. I got to wait for 20 fucking years.
That's an impressive record. Like, let's be.
Yeah, but I was gone for 13. That helped.
That does help. That does help.
And I actually moved clean out of Tampa for several years. So
yeah,
it put me far away.
As soon as you got back in the vicinity.
And in that year, for a year in that time, I actually got rid of my television because I watched too much TV.
Mm.
And I managed to live an entire year without a television.
Nice.
I got a lot of writing done. I would listen to the old radio programs, which are fabulous, by the way. And if you haven't listened to them, you should pull them up and listen to them. They're great.
Okay, I'm gonna have like a month of downtime. So
like the Mystery Theater or Suspense. It's like those are great.
Ooh, I should listen to was it? Is it World? Not World of the Worlds. Is it
Yes, War of the Worlds.
World?
And it's like that's a fabulous recording. Orson Welles scared the shit out of everybody. But
that does sound dope, actually.
yeah, and it's like those old radio programs are fantastic. I actually punched out 2 scripts in that year.
Nice.
Unfortunately, they never got funded, but I've still got them, so I'm happy. I've got them. I'm working on a new one right now.
Are you really?
Yep.
Nice.
And I want something dramatic this time.
Yeah.
Everybody would think I'm writing a horror film. It's like, no. I've got a story I want to tell.
Yeah.
I let that be a surprise when it comes to time. I don't like to talk about things too much ahead of time.
No, that's fine.
Because I've done this a couple times, and Ryan Murphy seems to beat me to the punch every time I say it.
Murphy.
Yes, it was like 3 different times now I've said something, and he's produced a show that's almost identical to what I said to somebody. He's like, is he tapping my fucking phone? What?
He's just following you.
It was like when the show Castle Rock came in. I was like, wouldn't it be cool to make a Stephen King show where all the characters live in one place?
That's not pretty dope, actually.
They did Castle Rock. That's what Castle Rock was. All the characters from his different novels intertwining. They even brought Carrie in. She lived in Chamberlain.
You're right. Okay, yeah. Holy shit.
Only I would have started with Cujo as a puppy being picked up by Joe Camber and taken home. That's where I would have started.
That would have been a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
There was only one season of Castle Rock, wasn't there? Or was there
1 or 2.
Only 2?
But it was enough to annoy me. And then it was funny because I did a film called Fall of an Actor.
Yes.
I played a caricature of myself, an agent.
Mm-hmm.
And then people started telling me, have you seen Hollywood? No. Jim Parsons must have seen that movie and stole your act. And I started watching it, and I'm listening to the dialogue he has and the way he's delivering it. It's like, I would be very flattered to think that Ryan Murphy or Jim Parsons saw that and stole it from me.
It might have. You never know.
It's out there in video world. Who knows?
It's all, anything is feasible.
Now, what's funny is, have you met Joel?
No.
Made quite a few movies with him. He's married to my bestie.
Okay.
Dee Snider went to a screening of one of his movies in California.
Really?
They showed Dirty Cop No Donut, and Dee Snider was like the biggest fan of the movie. But what's funny is one of his earliest movies, it's just a bit part then, was Truth or Dare.
Okay.
And they made a whole series where he's become the principal character chasing the killer.
Okay.
Late night on TV, one night Elijah Wood's on TV. And he's talking about when he was young, growing up, and he liked horror movies. Like, my favorite movies when my brother brought me, it was this really fucked up movie called Truth or Dare. And that was my favorite fucked up movie growing up. I don't remember anybody who was in it, but Tim Ritter made it. And I was trying, at the last convention, he was here. I had a stack of the movies. I had them all. I was going to take them to him, and then our car battery died. And by the time we got there, it was just too late to try to get there. And it was like, okay, you better be back next year, motherfucker. If the car's broken, I'm going to Uber over while everybody else deals with the car.
Fair enough.
Because I wanted to give him the whole series. I go, here, now you have a whole series of fucked up movies. And I have become part of that world. I appear briefly in 2 of them. One's a short. And with Baker acted, we actually brought that character back into a completely different story. And really? I'm not allowed to talk too much about what I do in it, but it's like, man, what they wrote me was so good.
That's awesome.
I can't wait to see the finished film. It's still shooting right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like we have a lot of actors within the Rocky group right now.
That's
quite a few. And Jen just now is like, she's got an article with her picture in Creative Loafing this week.
We didn't even know that. I didn't even know.
Yes.
She was just here.
Go to her page. Her headshot is above it, talking about Venus and Furs, which is what she's doing.
Yeah, me and we're going to go see it on Thursday, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm totally.
Yes, really they used her picture in the article.
That's fucking dope.
And it's like, I know she'd like to break into film at some points as well.
She fucking should. She's so fucking good.
Oh, yes, she is. And she's done so much. And it's like, God, yeah, I'm thinking about all the people that theater background or acting. It's like Ricky and Christy have appeared in movies. Jack has been in a movie.
What?
Scott made his debut in the movie Just Played T-Buff.
Really?
Yes, it just played T-Buff. He only plays a murder victim, small part, but
so awesome.
It's a good starting point.
That is a great starting point.
It was very funny. We went out to Horizon Park in the middle of the afternoon full of people, and we both got murdered.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
And Kelly said the movie was received really well.
Really?
It was like everybody thought it was just hysterically funny. It's called it's either 9 Lives of Bryce or Bryce's 9 Lives. We're waiting for it to start streaming. We have not seen it yet.
No,
we have not seen it.
Okay.
So it's like, but it's been approved to stream. It's just nobody has it yet.
Okay.
So,
nice. All right. Fuck yeah.
Casey appeared on one of Kelly's movies with me.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And it was really funny because that one actually played at the Bellagio. They
Really?
showed it. And it was just a screening of the movie. It wasn't for the film fest. It was just a screening of the movie.
Holy shit.
And I took him as my date and thought I'd look like a cougar. And I looked like a mom who took her teenage kid to a movie. I look like his mother in the pictures. But we're sitting there and it made me laugh because the scene came up and you hear us before you see us. Also, I have this hand going because that was it. And then he grabbed my hand and nearly broke it.
Oh my God.
So I leaned over as the scene was going. It's like, is this surreal for you? And he goes, yes. And it's like punchline. This is the same theater they perform Rocky Horror in. Mm-hmm. It's like, so you've been on the screen of the Rocky Horror Theater, my friend.
That's a full circle moment right there. If I've ever seen one. Hell yeah.
And it was like, and it was very funny because there's a nudity right at the beginning. And he goes, this is awkward. And I went, what's awkward? He's like, I've never seen one of my directors naked before. It's like, do you think if she cared, those boobs would be on the screen? Do you think she cares? Wouldn't be up there. Just saying, wouldn't be up there.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
This one gets horrified at the things I'll do. Somebody can ask me, it's like, okay. Well, the thing is, it was like one of the earliest plays I did when I was a teenager. There was a production of Equus I wanted to do.
Okay.
And I was underage, so I had to get consent from my family to do it because of the nudity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't know if they do it now. Probably not. They'd probably make sure whoever it was 18.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandma was my guardian.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, do you really want to do this? And I said, here, read it. It's a great part. It's a great part. Mm-hmm. She's like, you're really sure you want to do this? Yeah, I do. That was one of the scariest moments of my life, the first night I had to do that show in front of an audience.
Yeah.
Because we did a preview night, but in the preview night we skipped it because it was just a preview night. And in rehearsals I didn't have to get undressed. To suddenly be naked in front of an audience when you've never done anything like that in your life and you're still in high school. Yeah.
That's I
later did another play based on writings of the Marquis de Sade. It was an industrial musical.
Ooh.
And that director asked me, could I be naked on stage? And it was like, yeah, can I have a copy of the show when it's done? I've still got that VHS somewhere. I don't know where I need to find it. It was an amazing show.
Yeah.
And after that, I just didn't care.
Huh?
And this is whether, and it's like my weight has gone up and down. I've been skinny. I've been plump. I don't care. I know what I look like.
Did you is it because of Rocky that you got into acting, or?
No, I already had acting in my bones. It was like, I was a very geeky child growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I was the weird kid in the neighborhood. I'd play with Tonka trucks and Barbie dolls. I was the weird kid. People didn't want the kids around me. First cruelty I experienced was from the parents of those kids. Mm-hmm. They keep their kids away from me. I would hear the names behind my back. That's okay. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
That's good.
But I threw myself into the world of watching movies. It was like I got to live these fantasies that weren't my own. I get to watch. And I just, my whole life, wanted to act.
Yeah. All right.
And I realize now I prefer what I'm doing with the indie underground circuit.
Yeah.
Because you do not have to play by the rules a major studio does. You can do whatever you want.
Yes.
It's like they don't limit the creativity on what you're doing.
No.
Whereas, oh no, we can't go above an R on this. We can't do that. We can't. Yeah, we can do whatever we want.
I love that. I think that's like one of the reasons why I respect the Terrifier movies so much, because
they push the envelope.
They do, and I think
and each one a little more viciously, to be honest.
Yeah.
Same with Human Centipede.
Yeah.
It's another one where you're pushing the limits of what you can do to people.
Are those ones also not rated?
I don't believe they are.
I never thought about that. Okay.
I wish more studios would just release unrated cuts of movies, and you can slap a warning on it.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see that a little bit. If Terrifier 3 is anything to go by, there is a market for it.
Well, and a big difference now in the advent of cameras, anybody can make a movie.
Yes.
All you need is a script, a decent cast, good makeup people, a great editor, and you get it out there.
Yeah.
And it's like now people can make the movies they wanted to see. It's like I love Rob Zombie's work. Mm-hmm. And it's like he will push those limits. Tarantino, for some reason, the studios let him do it. They let him do it. He's a darling. He's one of the darlings. Eli Roth pushed the ticket a bit with his Hostel films.
Yeah, and Green Inferno too a little bit, even though that was like a remake. You didn't like it?
Bad CGI animals. I'm glad they didn't kill anything for real, like in the old Italian films. Yeah. I'm happy for that. But not to be awful, the storyline was fucking dumb.
I think that was I was married.
I don't know if he was meaning to be funny when he did it, but there didn't really seem to be a real point behind why they were killing these people, where the other ones all had some kind of logical explanation.
Yeah.
Although it was amusing when they ate the one guy and got really high.
Yes.
That was amusing, but it was like overall, it was like, I actually said that to Scott when I watched, like, he needs to not do that again. I'm glad that he loves them and all, but it was just like that. It wasn't as satisfying as those grungy old Italian movies where you see really scratchy prints of it, and that kind of adds to it. Scratchy old print.
Almost made it feel like a real movie for
like
yeah.
But the thing is, sadly, because they kill animals, that makes them snuff films. It really does, and that's And I love cannibal films, but it's like I cannot watch you killing the animals. This bothers me.
No, that's understandable. Oh man, I just found out about a movie recently where there was like a snake that actually died, and I was like,
well, Friday the 13th killed a snake.
That's what it was. Yes. It was Friday the 13th. Yeah,
yes, actually killed a snake.
I was like,
there's a movie called, I believe it's called Bells from Hell.
Okay.
It's an older movie. And I sat down to watch it one night because it has an actress. The actress that played the crazy old woman in Creepshow whose father kills her out of the grave for Father's Day.
Yes.
So she was in this movie. I thought, oh, great. I'll sit here and watch it. During the credits, they're slaughtering pigs. And I was like, I am done. I have no idea if that movie's any good. I turned it off during the credits. They were slaughtering pigs.
That's awful.
And it was actually taken in one of the plants. So it's like, done.
No.
It's like, I understand that's what the character does for a living, but really,
you don't need.
I don't.
No. There's tasteful ways to go about that don't require the animal to actually be harmed.
I'm sure they did that purely for shock value. And in my case, it worked effectively, but it also turned me off to ever watching the movie.
And then, isn't that like kind of like what you risk when you do something like that? I don't want to say taboo is probably the best word to think about it. Like, to go to that upper limit, you risk people just shutting down and kind of like...
Well, in my case, had you done something fake, I would have watched your movie.
Yeah.
But, and I understand that those animals were all slaughtered. They were processed. People ate them, but I don't want to watch it.
No.
And I can honestly say that, yeah, they don't treat those animals well.
No, I don't.
I actually stopped eating meat for several years because of that. But I live with somebody who can't stand a vegetable. Vegetables are not their friend at all. And I had to integrate meat back into my diet. And I was sick for a while. I started to integrate the meat back into my diet.
Sorry.
When you don't eat it, your system loses being used to. It's too rich for your system. When you go to eat it, it'll make you so sick.
Yeah. And
you have to do it in just little bits, but it's like...
It takes so long to kind of get back. It's like it's kind of not even worth it at that point. That's what happened to my friend Kat. She was, I think, not vegan, but I think she was vegetarian. And then I remember she was like, yeah, I'm going to go back to eating meat. And then I think it lasted like 2 weeks. And then she's like, no, I went back to being vegetarian. It's just easier.
I was like, I'll go with that.
Yeah, I was like, all right, fuck yeah, dude. Like, do your thing. Yeah, I don't blame you.
And we're into the new year, so we know Rocky's going to happen again. It's coming.
And it's the 50th.
It's coming.
The 50th anniversary.
And the 50th, yeah, this is a big deal this year. 50 years old.
50 years of fucking Rocky Horror going strong.
I am only going to be 8 years older than this movie.
That's amazing.
But I'm hoping we put in to see if we can get a celebrity for it. That'd be awesome. I would love us to get little Nell because I don't think she's been here yet.
Really?
Not to one of the screenings. She's been to conventions.
Is she?
But I don't think she's actually just been to one of the theaters. And it's like, that'd be awesome.
Have you met everybody from the original cast?
Over the years, I have met different actors. I have met Pat Quinn. I actually did get to meet Richard O'Brien.
Really?
In New York, yes. I got to meet Richard.
How was that?
I had been... there were so many people flocking him. I didn't get the time I would have liked to have that.
Yeah.
Little Nell used to have a nightclub in New York called Laura's.
That's awesome.
So I saw her nightclub when it existed. It does not. It's not there anymore. Obviously Barry Bostwick, because he was here with us.
Yeah.
I wanted to take him home and keep him. He's adorable.
He's a great guy.
He's so nice. Susan Sarandon has actually got family over in St. Pete.
Does she?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Her brother married the police chief's daughter.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know. I don't know if he's still the police chief because this is several years back.
Yeah.
But they had pictures of her when she came to visit or was here for the wedding and Barry Bostwick actually lives in Florida now.
Does he?
Yeah, he's in Mount Dora.
Oh,
he actually told us that. He lives in Mount Dora.
Oh, shit. Okay, cool. Nice. All right. Fuck yeah.
Peter Henwood I've never met, and he looks like a rickety pile of bones now. No, he does. He is aged rough.
Wow.
Charles Gray has passed.
Yeah.
I believe Jonathan Adams has passed. Obviously, Meatloaf just passed recently.
Yeah.
And I know some of the Transylvanians have passed. And have you seen that Home Improvement show that Hillary has that played Betty?
No.
She looks better now than she looked in Rocky Horror.
No shit.
No shit. When we get done here, I'm going to pull up my phone and show you what she looks like. Bitch is hot.
Nice. Time's been kind.
It's like, I wonder how much fan mail she gets at HGTV talking about Rocky Horror. No, honestly, it's like, you're only Betty, but really, how much fan mail do you get?
I think once people put it together, there's
you're only in the movie a few seconds.
Like, F that. You throw the flowers and you leave.
Yeah. Like, it's like all you are is the catalyst for everything that follows. That's the only reason you're there. And then she wasn't even in the sequel.
No.
Although I loved Ruby Wax. And it's like, I look at it, it's like, where's Rocky Horror going now? Because of the advent of video and internet and theaters not wanting to hold the weekly screenings like they used to, so readily available.
Yeah.
I kind of miss that allure if you could only see it in the theater.
Yeah.
I miss that allure. You had to go to the theater if you wanted to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, since the time I was a young teenager, there are pictures of me with people I don't know floating all over the place. Because people literally would come up after the show and want to take photos with you. As like in their mind, they had done something special.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments, I would MC a lot of the shows back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
This girl came up to me. She's like, do you remember me? You popped my cherry that night. It was 4 years ago. It was prom night. I was in a red dress. So I was like, oh my God, how have you been? You look great. What are you doing now? She walked away and it's like, I have no fucking idea who that bitch was. We had mothers bringing slumber parties. Uh-huh. We had an old couple escape the old folks home up the street and come one night. Mm-hmm. We had to call the old folks home to come pick them up. And it's funny because with kids nowadays, mm-hmm. It's like you don't realize your grandparents probably saw me do the show. My grandparents wouldn't do that. No, now they wouldn't. But don't be surprised to find out your grandma went to a Metallica concert and pulled her fucking shirt up and showed her boobs to the band. My grandmother would never. It's like, she was a young woman once upon a time, just like you're a young person. Yeah. Don't think she didn't pull half the shit you pulled. We're all young. We're all going to live forever. We're going to get away with being carefree and doing what we want. Yeah. And you think you're sneaky. Trust me, they did it better than you, and there's no internet to back up what they did.
It's very true.
Although one time on Yahoo, mm-hmm. This is very funny, I found a nudie of myself.
Oh.
And I remember the day this happened because one of our cast members, it's like, no, I want to be with you. Picks up this camera because I'm just kidding. There's no film in it. 15 years later, I'm looking at this picture. It's like, I know those curtains. And I take a better look and it's like, and that is my body. Laid out on a bed, spread eagle. So I did what anybody would do. I saved it.
As you should.
I'm the person that make a freaking Christmas card and send it out.
That's true.
I had great Christmas cards one time where I had my body piercing attached to somebody else's and we dropped our pants and hung Christmas ornaments on the string in between our bodies.
Nice.
And awesome. It read, deck the balls.
It's dope. I like that.
I still got some somewhere. I haven't found them yet. And it was funny because I was talking to say like, oh my God, I saw that card. And I recently ran into this guy. I hadn't seen him in years and years and years. Mm-hmm. And I reminded him, he's like, we did. And when I said, all of a sudden he remembered, he went, oh my God, we did. And he's like, and you still got them? It's like, I do, but I'm not sure where they are. And he's like, and when you find it, you need to bring me one. And it's like, if I can find them, I'll gladly. Shit, I'll send them out again this year. I'll bring them. What did I do when I was young at Rocky Horror? This. And he was a Rocky Horror cast member.
That's awesome.
Of course he was.
Of course he was.
Of course he was.
Do you think, since you have like a nice experience between both, like the older generation, mm-hmm. like seeing like this newer generation, do you think like having that exposure or like having the ability to access Rocky Horror harms it, or does he think it makes it better?
I think with the environment we're living in right now, in the present, especially with transgender and LGBTQ rights coming under attack, and it's not by everyone, it's only by some. It's like this is giving these kids a safe space.
Yeah.
Now, I was having a conversation with somebody about there was that point where we had to be invisible. Had to. I'm going to have no problem with whatever goes on for the next 4 years. Yeah. I've been invisible once. I can do it again. I can blend right in. Yeah. But young people now are full of ideals, like we all are when we're growing up, but they're full of righteous indignation. And there are times it's just like, less is more. Don't say it. There are people that physically right now will hurt you because they feel like they're empowered to do so. And that is my major concern. But we give them a safe space. Yeah. We really do. We give them a safe space. That's like, you're always safe with us. You're always going to be. That is the space we give you. Yeah. And we have brought certain people in just because we could tell maybe their esteem was low. There's one cast member, she's no longer with us, but when she auditioned, her audition was okay, but she's probably not the first person that we would have picked. But I remember leaning over and going, she needs this. A year later, she was on stage in this lingerie, hair done, makeup on, with the most confidence I have ever seen in a human being, and she looked freaking amazing. And it's like, I still see her. We're on Facebook together, but she's not here to talk for herself, so I'm letting her remain nameless. But it's like, I love what I see. It's like, it did it for you. Yeah. So, and that's something on occasion that I ask people when we're doing auditions. Yeah. Why do you want to do Rocky Horror?
Ooh. Huh, that's an interesting question.
I have gotten some very interesting answers. Okay. Bobby, back in the day, gave me a great answer. His was amazing. Really? Yes. Okay. And he actually posted something because I said something about memory of us, and that was his memory was that particular audition.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's like, I actually saved that. I've got it in my phone somewhere. I'll share it with you when I find it because of what he said. Yeah. And it was, again, it was needing that inclusive space coming from a traditional family that can't necessarily understand your life. And here's people that are embracing you so you can be comfortable and be who you are. Yeah. And although the Rocky Horror message is kind of dark. It is. Rose tint my world. Rose tinted glasses makes everything look pretty, but the world's not necessarily the nicest place. Rocky Horror, I guess, can be our rose tinted glasses because that is our safe space where the world is good when we're together. It's fabulous when we're together. But it's like with a lot of the kids now, like I said, it's like I'm worried for them. I'm not worried for me. Yeah. I've learned how to navigate and survive and without going into it here again, been a victim of a hate crime and got through it. So, yeah. I'm glad you did. And it was like, although I can fight, I was jumped that time. That wasn't fair. No, it wasn't fair.
Bunch of pussies.
And I don't talk about being molested so much in junior high school. And it's like, you realize you're putting your dick in me. You get that right. You're doing exactly what you pick on me for. It's funny because you're doing it.
Sounds like some closeted feelings that are coming to life.
I don't understand when that happens. And it does happen a lot, that people that kind of react that way. And it's like, oh, it's okay when you do it. Okay, got it. Okay, it's funny because you're doing it. Oh, I got it. You're giving it to the faggot. Got it.
That makes it.
Dude, you sucked your dick on the faggot. Funny thing is, if you were nice to him, you probably could have talked me into it. I haven't lost it yet. I haven't given it away yet. You might have been able to talk me into it. I remember throwing a guy in high school out because I didn't like the way he approached it. And that's funny because I'm a slut. And he knew it. Oh, he came over. We went to the movies and he came over. And no fanfare, no kisses, no hugs, no such as whipped it out. He goes, I want you to meet my little brother.
He called his little brother. What is that?
And I went, well, tell him to call me when he grows up. And it's like, get your shit and get out of my house. You're not spending the night. he's like, but I thought you liked it. It's like, I do. And he's like, but you're a slut. I went, yeah, but a lot of little kissing and hugging would have got you a lot further. You would have gotten what you wanted. I wouldn't have told you no. But that's just rude.
Yeah, it's a little disrespectful.
I don't know where I got so full of the righteous indignation that moment.
I mean, it doesn't, just because you're sexually free doesn't mean like you deserve to be disrespected. You're not just gonna like the fuck.
Look, going through high school, one of the conversations I remember having most with schoolmates, spend the night, go to a movie, whatever.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell anyone, are you? No. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people I could ruin today if I really wanted to. I really could, because I could say one of them is in professional sports.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, some of them have moved up in the world.
Holy
it's like,
shit.
yeah, one of them's a politician.
Ooh, spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Very spicy.
But yeah, it's like, but no, I don't kiss and tell. It's like, that's nobody else's business. But what's funny is I would get, you're not going to tell anybody, are you? And then people would come back and tell me about it. And it's like, okay, it's fair game now. You said something. And now it's fair game, and I will talk about it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And it was funny because I made a joke one time. I'm going to go back and re-sleep with everybody I've ever slept with. We do not have that kind of time left in my life. It was like back in the day when I was single. I don't know how I'm sitting here having a conversation with you, quite honestly.
Yeah, you're on a warpath.
No, very honestly, it's like, I don't know how. The only thing I ever got was crabs, and it was off a rug we dumpster dived. It was infested. Ooh. Everybody got them. It was a big wool rug dumpster dive. When you have no furniture and you got that first place to live in. Mm-hmm. Are you good, or did you run out of battery back there, my friend?
I think we might. No, we're good for now. I think I got like 12 minutes left.
Okay.
12 minutes left? Okay.
Okay, is there anything we really need to hit on so you have it?
I guess I'll hit like the big points. What about, I mean, you kind of already hit it about like the community and everything. Is that what keeps you
well, the
coming?
thing is, it's not even community. You become family.
Yeah.
This in the way I treat you, and it's the way Heather Ann will treat everybody, and to this day, Ricky Garcia.
Yeah.
It's like, and you're part of a very exclusive club at this point, too, because not everybody gets to do this. Very few people actually get to do Rocky Horror or be involved with Rocky Horror. Yeah. Because even when it was widespread, it was still that taboo thing back in the day. And a lot of places, it's like, it's died off. You don't see it in theaters anymore, maybe once a year. And although we do it, really, one convention in that show every year, that's enough to satisfy me at my age.
Fair enough.
It is.
That's for me too.
And we have people that, like Kale, more than one cast, performs with several casts and travels. And it's like, no, that's great.
Charlie, too. Charlie's on.
Yes, Charlie is as well.
I fucking love Charlie.
And there was a period where that wasn't happening. You were with the cast, you were with the cast. But if you went to another state, you could walk right up and go, I'm on a cast and blah, blah, blah. And boom, they pull you right in and start talking. And that's the way that works. If you were to say, go to Tennessee from here, and you found a Rocky Horror cast. Oh, in Tampa, I did it. Oh, you're one of us. Come on in. You're part of the club.
That's what happened with me when I was in Virginia. I joined, it was like I was out of Rocky for like, at that point, 8 years, about 8-9 years. And I was just like, hey, I did Rocky Horror back in like 2000, all the way up until from 2008 to like 2012-ish, a little bit later. Do you guys need like a props guy? And they were like, yes. The fuck?
Yeah, and it's like, and it's worldwide. It's not just here. You can go to Europe and do the same thing if you can communicate.
I would love to do a Rocky Horror cast in Europe.
That would be fun.
Fucking dope. What? Yeah, right?
It was funny because we did a show. We did the Rocky Horror nudie show at the nudist camp one time years ago.
I've heard about it.
And we just would wear accessories versus entire costumes. And it was funny because some of us were still minors when they let us do this. We weren't all of age. Some of us were, some of us were not. And it was like, nobody asked.
No.
So it was whoever was comfortable getting up on the stage doing the show. And that's an interesting experience to do it that way.
I've heard about them. I've seen like an advertisement or two for them.
There's something very freeing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I would like to go get naked and sit in an audience and watch the show.
That seems fair.
And I know that they've been doing them. And it's like, we need to get a group and just, let's all go be naked together and watch the show.
Yeah, I got to figure out how they act.
Wussy, I love you, but you a wussy when it comes to he's afraid he'll get a hard on. I know what it is. You're afraid your dick gonna get hard. You see some hot thing up there. Yes, we talk to each other like this all the time.
I think it's beautiful. Like, you guys are adorable. You guys make me heart so happy. I love it.
But yeah, it's like being family. It's like I don't look at it as a community. It's like your family.
Yeah.
And you can ask, it's like we had Jack in our house recently after surgery and nursed him until he was ready to go home. And I would have done that for anybody on the cast. So that's awesome. And I would hope in turn, same thing.
Of course,
so,
yeah, 100%. At least for me, like if you ever need anything, I'm like,
I know I can.
Yeah.
And vice versa. You know that.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I will not ask you to grow those glorious dreads back. They were beautiful.
Thank you. No,
they were beautiful.
If I get out, I'll probably end up growing them again. But I'm kind of like I'm on the fence about that stuff right now. Anyway, so
it's a lot of growth. That's a long time to get them there.
I started growing them in the 5th grade. I didn't cut them until I turned 18.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's like a lot of hair growing.
My hair could do it again. Like I think if I started, I couldn't stop it. I have to just keep.
Yeah, you have to let it go.
Yeah, that'd just be what I have for the rest of my life.
What else would we like to tap on? I want to make sure you have what you need here because I know you can cut it.
Yeah, sense of community, beautiful. Favorite memory from Rocky.
Ooh, that's an excellent question.
Right?
There are two. One is just a fun story that I will share.
I love it.
It was the massacre.
The massacre?
The massacre.
Okay.
We had one of the actors, one who I said I could bring you if you wanted somebody else to interview. He was doing Eddie, and he made the remark that he thought one night Scott Mullins was going to get the pickaxe and actually kill him. Because we used a real pickaxe.
Mm-hmm.
So all our wheels got to turning. It's like, what can we do to psych him out? So we worked out this very elaborate attack that was going to happen during Hot Patootie. It was 4 of us that were in on it, and we started arguing publicly where people would see it. And we would close that. We had that closet door. We would close and we'd yell at one another, be laughing inside. They would not see us, be yelling at one another and come out complaining. And then during the week, we were getting together and organizing what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. So the night of the show, we had made a fake pickaxe with styrofoam wrapped in blue electrical tapes that kind of looked like the one. Mm-hmm. Hot Patootie came up. They put the pickaxe out there like they're supposed to. As the scene's going on, I walked right up and I swapped them and I put the other one down and walked away with the one. And I even watched one of the actors went, oh, these look different. Well, at the end of it, poor Jake, he's doing Eddie. And we had notified the theater and the policeman that was there because they had a security officer, an actual policeman there. Oh, so we needed to let them know they were up in the projection. No, they were in the back watching. They knew what we were going to do. Mm-hmm. The one actress came up behind him and grabbed his arms when he had the pickaxe coming at him. And Taryn, who's no longer with us, we lost her to COVID, yells, "No, Scott, no, you fucking," or no, I ran first. I take that back. No, what's Taryn? She goes, "No, you fucking don't, Scott." She had a squib in her hand. And he swung that pickaxe at her, pushed her back to the door and hit it. Well, the styrofoam cracked really loud. At the same second, she burst this condom in her hand, red everywhere. And she collapsed. And I went running up to get him. I had a mouthful of blood that nobody knew I had. He slammed me in the wall. I spit it all over the wall and slowly slid down the wall to the ground. And he stood there and turned around, and one of our poor girls passed out. We didn't know she couldn't stand the sight of blood. We didn't know. She fainted, dead in the middle of the floor. All of a sudden, I hear Taryn, "Scott, how could you do this to me? I love you." Crawls out and falls across me, and People are screaming at this point. People have jumped up and run out. We stand up and say, great, we'd be fucking dead. And the audience that was there burst into this thunderous applause. Well, we found out Jake had run up to the assistant manager and goes, where's the cop? And she goes, oh, he's not here tonight. He goes, then shut one, you fucking bitch! And he ran and hid in the ladies' room. He went in and stalled in the ladies' room because that's where we went to clean up. And we get in there. He comes like, he's crying. He's like, oh my God, you're okay. Mind you, all this weeks of planning and all this elaborate setup, everything happened probably in about 40 seconds. This is how you make a trick work. You don't give people a chance to think about and analyze what's going on around them. Mm-hmm. You have to keep distracting them quickly. And it was like I still have the blood splattered jeans that everybody signed that night. I have them. Nice. I've saved them all these years.
That's amazing.
But it became known as the Night of the Massacre.
I love that.
But
that is amazing.
I think the happiest memory was just knowing that I finally had found a place in the world that I could be and just get comfortable in the skin.
Okay.
And it's like during the day, obviously, I don't look like this with my job, but this is the skin I'm comfortable in, and I make no qualms about that. Everybody knows it. I even offered Larry by squeeze the boobs. But that really was just having people that would support me and were just happy that I was me and I was there. And now I, in turn, is like, I play mama to everybody. It's like, come on, babies, come on.
And now you get to return.
And I'll continue doing that till I can't anymore, probably.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And what else would we like? Anything else we'd like to tap on?
Last question that I always ask everybody.
42.
Close. Actually, that honestly might be your answer. What is your favorite callback line? I know.
Well, I've heard so many over the years.
I know.
This is why I have to think on this.
Please take as much time as you need.
A favorite one that I yell. This is just one of my own.
Hey, that's what makes it your favorite.
No, it's not my favorite line. It's just my favorite one that I yell.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't hear anybody else do it. Is when Dr. Scott, the wine hits his plate, he kind of gets the napkin and goes, I'd love to go, I think I came on myself. And ever since I said that, Michael heard me, Heather's husband. He yells it all the time. A line they don't yell anymore that I loved, and you will appreciate this one, is when they're cutting the piece of meat up on the table. Mm-hmm. So tender, so juicy, must be a butterball or a pussy.
That's good.
Well, that used to be saying butterball turkey, so juicy. Another one, which was short-lived, is like you have to be on timing with some of these.
Yeah.
Is where Frank is whipping Rip out of the elevator, and somebody one night yelled, "Thank you for flying United Airlines. Please come again." So some things are topical, and you got to be quick with them. Like when I yelled, "What do you do when they catch you fucking eating the dogs in Ohio?" I can explain.
Yes, that one was great.
But that was such a short window for that to be a good callback line.
Yeah, like we throw it like in next year.
We have one gentleman that comes in and yells things from 1980, and it's like, nobody knows what the hell you're talking about right now. They don't know what a fucking La Machine is.
Yeah, there's a couple like the Rocky and Bullwinkle line. Like that one's getting really obscure. Mm-hmm. Like
Moose and Squirrel.
Yeah, like most people don't even know.
Yes, you need to stick with on Wednesday Venels. It's a little.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lines, and some of them are silly. And what was another one? What's your favorite toothpaste? Gleam.
Yeah.
They don't make Gleam anymore. What's your favorite fruit drink? I see. They don't make High C anymore. Or do they?
I don't know.
I know they make Hawaiian Punch.
I'm not sure. Did they make High C?
I will tell you.
Because they just came out. They re-released Ecto Cooler from Frozen Empire.
Oh, shit.
Okay, yes. I do have an absolute all-time favorite gross line that I yell.
You do? Oh,
yeah.
Let's go.
It's after everybody's statues when he's had his little tip with magenta. Mm-hmm. Hey, Frank, what's your favorite chicken McNugget dipping sauce? Come! We are ready for the floor show. My favorite gross line.
That's beautiful.
And I I don't mind the Jews burning in the fireplace. I know a lot of people take offense at that, but it's like that line's been around forever.
That line has been around.
And it's an equal opportunity kind of offender thing. Here's Rocky Horror, nobody's safe.
Yeah,
it's like watching South Park.
That's like one of the prerequisites of like the MC for the show. Like we are an equal opportunity.
Yeah, we're going to offend everybody, and if you can find something even more offensive, please share it with us.
Yes,
100%. And it's like I understand if you actually now, I will say we had a really neo-Nazi skinhead that used to come to the show. He ended up in my bed on his own.
Nice.
As he got to know me. Became comfortable with me. Actually, he had to leave the state because they were going to kill him. It's like he realized what he was doing was not okay. And as he got to know me, he got comfortable. He's like, this is what I'm hating on.
Yeah. And sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes it's not a place of hate.
It's like, have you ever known someone like me? No. And it's just like, this is why I used to get mad at shows like Jerry Springer, because of the particular guests they'd find to come on that were so incredibly stereotypical that it pissed me off. I wanted to hit them. Did you sleep with your sister's boyfriend? Honey, and it was good. I want to punch that motherfucker in the mouth. Not all people act that way.
No.
And if you don't believe me, come out to my car. I can change the oil. I'll show you how. I'll show you how to pull that seal, show you how to drain it, show you how to plug it again and reseal it and fill it back up. I just have no tools. But it's like, yeah, I could do it if I had to.
Yeah.
I also know how to change a brake pad if I had to.
Yeah.
And it's like, so no. And it's like, I've been hunting. I have killed and gutted deer. Shut the fuck up. Scott would not do well with that. Every bit of that deer was used.
That's good.
It was meat. The fur was used. The antlers were used. Even the hooves were used.
That's beautiful.
Well, that's the only way you should kill something. If you're going to use every bit of it.
Yeah,
but it's like, don't assume everybody's a stereotype. And if you're worried about people doing naughty things to you in the bathroom that you think they don't belong in, you're worried about pedophiles. Not transgender people. You're worried about pedophiles.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of ignorance that needs to be educated.
Well, the question I would ask people, would you be more comfortable with me walking in and closing the door on the stall, or do you want me to step up to the urinal next to you and whip it out? What's going to be more upsetting to somebody? Please tell me.
That's very
where you can see my shoes, or where I'm standing next to you and now you're worried that I'm going. And if I stand next to you and I think you're good looking, I might.
You know, it's funny because like I don't want to play by in particular in bus, but I've had some recent conversations with some people where like they start hinting at stuff like that, and I go, like, you realize like a lot of people who like are like that don't make it a big deal, right? I was like, like they've probably been existing, and if they use the bathroom, guess what? They go to the bathroom.
When I look like this, when I look like this, I go in the ladies' room unless it looks like it's an unsafe place for me to do so. Yeah. And it's kind of fun to walk in the men's room on occasion and have people, ma'am, I'm in the wrong restroom. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. When I was younger, something I used to get away with before there was all that and it was still more dangerous, I would carry tampons in my purse. I would go in the ladies' room. I would go to the sink. I would open up. I would pull one and go, thank God I got one. And I would go install. Nobody ever questioned that. At my age now, if I pulled a tampon out, they go, really? You're still having them? Last movie set I went on, this is great, when I worked on Baker Acted, it took more than half the cast 2 days to figure out that the bottom half of my body is not the same as the top half looks. And this one poor girl, I love her. She's my new best friend. We were doing a take and the pins came loose from my wig and actually slid up the wall without being hooked on the light, on the light fixture. And I laughed. I was like, okay, we need to cut. My hair came off. She's a gross woman. And later my bestie comes and tells me, I walked up, she went, she told you, didn't she? And I went, oh yeah, she did. And I love you for that. That even when it came off, you thought, it was like, yeah, I can't use my own hair. It's so thin and wispy up top. He's like, that looked like something. I'd look like a scary prison matron.
That could be a look.
But it was very funny that many people didn't realize that I was with them for 2 days. Sima, ask Sima about it.
Oh.
I think it was 3 or 4 months before Sima realized. And this was having conversations with me. So, well, the thing is, it's like, this is my comfortable skin. Yeah. This is not a drag show. No. Hair's not to here, eyelashes are not to here, eyebrows are not up here, and the clothes are not flashy. This is, I can go walk to the mall, nobody's gonna look at me twice except maybe that I'm a little tall. Mm-hmm. So, yes, I can blend in public, but you know that.
Yeah.
He knows that.
I think we
got what you need.
I think we did. Thank you again for
You're welcome.
all of this. It's been a pleasure.
I always have a lovely time with you.
I do too. I hope we get to do it more.
And if you get back to the actual podcasting thing, it's like, I will bring you some of the most bizarre people you've ever met.
No, I will. I would love that. And